and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Tommy Daniels. So today, as some of you may know, I never had a boyfriend until I got married or until I met my now husband, and we got married, and that was when I was 26. And I've just been thinking about it, like, in hindsight, would I do anything differently? Do I have any regrets about never having been in a relationship before him? So if you want to know more, and if you want to know the honest truth, keep watching. All right, so I met my husband in 2016. We got married about 6 months after, like officially, legally and traditionally 6 months after. And then we had the church wedding, which is really our wedding anniversary, or what we consider to be our wedding anniversary, in 12 months after, like, we started dating. So basically a year after. At that time I was 27, so I was 26 when we done the initial, like 6 months before, when we did the traditional and legal wedding. And then, as I said, I never had a boyfriend before him, and which means I was single for 26 years. And in this video I just wanted to share, what was I thinking, like what was my headspace out? Did I feel pressured at all? Did I regret not doing things differently? The truth is, did I feel pressured? Yes. I'll be honest, yes. However, the pressure wasn't so much from like people, it wasn't so much from family or friends, but I think it was more from myself. I started thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm 26, like, nothing's going on, like I don't really have any prospect, as it were. And I'll explain to you what I mean by prospect. And so I kind of began to put pressure on myself. Not so, to an extent, I just began to like think about like my age a bit more, which I really shouldn't have, because I really didn't have anything to worry about, because, God's got me. Of course, it's easier said when you're on the other side, and like when you're in here and thinking, oh my God, like, my clock is ticking, or my biological clock is ticking, and stuff like that. In terms of like never having been in a relationship before, now let me explain this. I've never been in a official relationship, or in a relationship excuse me, but I had liked guys, I had guys that liked me, guys that I'd been talking to, but never like been in a relationship. And the reason for this was simple. Most of the guys that I'd met, even the ones that were like church guys, for me they were like a complete no-no for a variety of reasons. And my kind of person at the time was, if I don't see a future with you, if I know that there's absolutely no way we're going to be together, I don't see any point to keep you around. And I think this is a point for I think ladies in particular to know. If you know that you don't see yourself with someone, there's no point like trying to like lead them on and kind of just have them keep giving you that attention. So you're not saying no, but you're not saying yes. But even though in your mind it's definitely no, but you're just kind of having them around to fill the space because maybe you enjoy the attention, or you're just thinking, well, I may as well settle. And I think it's just really unfair to the person that you're doing it to, because then they like you and they're thinking, okay, maybe there's something like that could happen soon with this person, but then there you are, that this is absolutely not going to happen, and they're investing all of this time and resources on you. So I think it's really unfair. So anyway, that was my kind of person. So I didn't excuse me, the people that liked me at the time that I thought like there was absolutely no way, like I made it clear, I wouldn't even go like on dates with them, because I'm just like, no, it's not going to happen, so there's no point, let's not waste each other's time. And this wasn't based on like just like wasn't the reasons for me were mostly like had to do with like the person's like foundation. So if I felt like, or you weren't really much of a Christian, or you're more of a church goer, or I just see some maybe foundational things in you that is not, I'm not saying like, oh, you're not tall enough, or like, more of, what's the word? I don't know. Is it I don't know. There's a word, there's a word for it, but yeah, if I just felt like, it wasn't those kind of reasons, superficial, yes. It wasn't like all the superficial reasons. It was more like, things that for me were like, there were things that I couldn't shake on, So if you weren't Christian enough, and I say Christian enough, not that, oh, you won't go to heaven or stuff like that, but for me, It didn't mean that they weren't going to church, or it didn't mean that I didn't even meet some of them in church, but I just knew that, like, I'm not sure. Like, even the ones that were really Christian, and they were so Christian, there were some other things that I just thought, no, this is an absolute no for me. Anyway, so my point is, I didn't keep them around me, so I wasn't even going to consider being in a relationship with them, and that was kind of one of the main reasons why I stayed single till I met Shay, my now husband. So that's number one. Number two, in terms of talking about what did I want to talk about? I talk about pressure. So I put pressure on myself. However, I put pressure on myself, but it wasn't to the point of, me settling, or me now deciding, like, anyone that just talked to me, I'm going on a date with them, or I'm going to see them. I even, like, I take dates seriously. I don't even think just date for the fun of it. I think some people do that in terms of, well, let's just give them a chance. And maybe it's not wrong, because maybe you can find out something later on that really changes how things go. But for me, I just felt like, when we've spoken, or like if we've spoken for a bit, or if I've known you for some time, or if we're in a kind of, if it's in a place, like if I met the person in a place where I keep going to, or where, I can keep seeing them in their element, and I know that, this is a no for me, I wouldn't even say yes to a date. And I did actually turn down some date. Actually, I know I remember one where, I just know that there's no point, like, I'm not going to take this further, so let's not waste each other's time. It's not going to happen. So I think it's quite important that, yes, you're single, you desire marriage, you're looking forward to it, and you think you're of age, or you think maybe you're even getting more advanced in age. I think it's important not to settle. Don't settle. Now to talk about, like, me never having a boyfriend and then being married. I'm married for 2 years. By December it will be 2 years. Do I have any regrets? The honest truth is no. Would I have done anything different? Absolutely not. I've never for once had a situation where I'm thinking, oh, how I wish, like, if I'd had more experience, then I could have been able to handle this better. I really genuinely don't think that I missed out on anything. In fact, I didn't miss out on anything. As far as I know, maybe you can say I missed out on, like, just, I guess, hanging out in that time, or maybe more socializing, because if you'll be going out on dates and you'll be doing, like, all this couple of things. But I don't think, personally, I don't think I needed any experience. And that's the thing, like, people tend to think, oh, you should have experience of dating, but I don't see it like that. People are different, so just because you've dated 5 different guys doesn't mean that you're now a great girlfriend or a great wife to be, because you've been with 5 different people. If anything, like, it could even confuse you, because then you're thinking, oh, because it worked for guy 1 to 5, now guy 6, it has to work for them. And I'm speaking specifically for ladies, because obviously I'm a lady, so I can relate to that a bit more. But you can also flip it. If you're a guy watching this, you can also flip it around the other way. Yeah, so if you had like 5, if you dated 5 people and this particular thing you did worked for all 5, doesn't mean it worked for 6. And I just feel like even more so you carry, like, all of those baggages, or you could potentially carry, like, baggages from each of those people, and you're bringing it into this new relationship and dumping it on this person, or thinking, like, why is this, now you're able to, like, compare and say, oh, why is this person not behaving this way, or why is it not doing stuff this way. And I haven't said that, sometimes, like, it's not only, like, relationships where you're officially labeled that you're actually in a relationship. I probably was in I won't say, yeah, I wasn't in a relationship, but probably there were, like, 2 kind of scenarios with 2 different people where you could have, to an extent, called it a relationship, but without the time. Maybe just one, but it wasn't. Again, it was for a very short time. But even with that, like, something like that, you could actually really carry, like, experiences from that and put it just take it and you're dumping it on your now relationship, and it's now causing issues because you have stuff to compare it to. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have relationships, or your goal in life should be, I don't want to be in a relationship before getting married. That could be a goal, but it shouldn't be that because if you've had a relationship already, or you think you have to not have a relationship to have a successful marriage. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that there's nothing wrong with that. And don't feel pressured because you're getting older. I didn't miss out on anything. Like, this is me kind of like at the other side now, assuming the assuming, of course, I'm assuming you're watching this because maybe you want to get married, or you're married, or yeah, you do have marriage on your radar basically. So this is me on the other side looking back now. I'm saying genuinely, I don't think I missed out on anything at all. I don't regret doing how things worked out for me or how I did things. I don't regret not giving people, all the other guys that I saw no future with, I don't regret not giving them any attention or any leading them on, as it were, or kind of keeping them around, because there's just no point for it. Like, I guess at the time it could have satisfied my ego, and it could have, you know, made me feel a bit more special, and then I'm thinking I have someone to call at night. But really and truly, I think I would just have been wasting their time. And if anything, it could have actually confused me, because I don't really want to go into details, but it could have actually confused me, because sometimes, actually I should say this, sometimes, you know, we feel like, you know, we're definitely not going to, like, you know, be in a relationship with this person, but we keep them around, we keep spending time with them, we keep talking to them. And the thing is, these things begin to grow. So you that you're like, oh, you know, because I can never be with them because of this thing that they do, or because of this kind of person that they are, all of a sudden, the more you spend time with them, you begin to see all this other amazing traits and attributes in them, and all of a sudden you're maybe you've been saying no, it's impossible, and then next thing you're like no. So it's kind of like getting lower and lower, and then your defense is kind of falling. And then that's why sometimes, like, some people realize that, you know, they find themselves in relationship with people, and you're thinking like, how did this person end up with this person? It's because they fed those relationships. So if you know that it's a no, don't feed it, like, let it go. And that's not to say that when you say no to people, they will grow. Sometimes they'll keep coming back years after that you don't have any control on that. But from your own part, don't be the one leading them on. Don't be the one kind of not saying no, not being not saying no, and just kind of saying, I'm praying about it, I'm thinking about it, and then you're going out with them, taking their gift, spending time with them, being nice to them one day and then not nice the next day, and just, you know, giving them mixed signals. I think it's unfair. So if you're, you know, maybe you're at an age where you thought you'd be married by now, or you're getting closer to that age and there's nothing happening, and you're thinking, God, where are you? Don't worry, just rest in Him. Take your mind off it as much as possible, as much as you can. Of course, you know, put yourself out there where you can, whatever, if any changes that you need to make within your own self while you wait, like, make those changes, work on your character, do the things that you love to do. But don't you're precious, so don't just give yourself to anyone and anything just because you desire so much to get married, or you desire so much to be in a relationship. You're worth much more than that. You're worth far more than Ruby as a lady, and as a guy, you know, God has deposited so much in you, and I don't think you should just be throwing that around to dogs. You know, don't cast your pearls before swine. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.